slide into the devil's doors of life. Things are changing and it ain't the way I like. On the replay, wish I could get a replay. Don't mean to hold ya, but I wanna do over. Gas up the ship, shoot me a text and let me know when it is time. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. 1 star, would not recommend that we go far from here. I wanna get off, I wanna get off.
A music podcast for the culture. Wild, wild thoughts.
What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Juneteenth. Welcome to another episode of Wild Wild Thoughts. I feel like we're gonna have a good show today. We got a whole lot to talk about. Shout out my co-host first of all. We got my little cousin Rex. We got Mars in New York, and we got V-Ray, the human Swiss Army knife, in the building. Before we get into everything, though, first I want to say a big congratulations to our co-host V-Ray. He put on his first film festival this weekend, even though we missed him at the show, but it's for a great cause. It's a great reason to miss. He put on his first film festival, so I want to say congratulations and ask you, how it went. Tell us about it, man. Give us the lowdown.
Beautiful pictures, by the way, too.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. It was cool, bro. It was a lot of last minute change that we had to go through, which seemed like it was sinking the ship, bro. Honestly, but we went forward with it, and it actually turned out much better than I anticipated, and I expected it to be good. So we had some cool press there. We had a good panel for the Q&As for the cast and the crew afterwards, and the movie itself was well received. It was just a good vibe, man. And plus, now that we got this in the can, I'm going to start doing this festival on a recurring basis. So it was a good first step into that whole arena, because, it matters what that first impression is. And luckily we were able to snatch defeat, snatch the show out of the jaws of defeat, I should say, and make it work. Now it's a good foot forward for the next ones to come. So I'm very happy.
Good shit, man. So I just wanted to make sure we acknowledge that, and say big congrats on that. If y'all want to, man, we can hop right into it. Juneteenth, Kendrick, the Form, just stepped off stage. Let me get y'all thoughts before I even get into it. Let's go around the room. V-Ray, give me your thoughts on what you felt about.
Now I have to be the lemon in this whole thing, because I was in traffic during the show, so I saw the comments and everything about it. But I'm gonna have to go back and check it out. But the audio that I heard, it seemed like it was super dope, man. I didn't get to see video, but I mean, it's Kendrick Lamar in LA on Juneteenth. That's like,
it don't line up no more. It don't line up more perfect than that. Like,
absolutely.
Rex, what did you think of the show, man?
The nigga not like us. He'll never be like us. He will never have. That nigga will never bring out anybody. Drake cannot do that, bro. He brung out Bloods, Crips, Hoovers, NBA players. Can Drake do that?
I don't think so. Shout out to David Hill. What up, Dave? He said he saw it. It was fire. Well, you know what I feel like, and I don't know if this was even intentional on Kendrick's part, but it felt like he was showing, like illustrating to us everything he had been saying about Drake, basically. Like, y'all ain't got no culture, y'all be copying off of us. You know what I mean? Like, LA don't really fuck with you like that. I run LA. Like, I think it felt like I said, I don't know if this was on purpose towards Drake, but it just felt like in the moment, the way he did the song, Tommy the Clown, that's LA, that's the culture. DJ Academics made a post like, he brought a clown out to his show, and everybody like, that's that disconnect. That's that disconnect that he talking about, that y'all don't know about West Coast shit when y'all always trying to act like y'all know what's going on with us. And then the fact that he did Not Like Us 5 times, and the audience sung it every single time, and it was
the way out, nigga.
Yeah, and it was just as hype every single time. That shows you how impactful that record is, specifically for LA. But now that it was on Amazon, for the culture, that's kind of crazy. So I feel like this show, not only did he like, I felt like he like planted his flag by having Dre come out, having Mustard come out, YG, and all the other new acts. It was dope because it felt like he was like, let's unite LA. Because what some people probably don't know is a lot of those acts are from different hoods. You know, a lot of those acts are from neighborhoods that don't get along and shit. Like, so he had all these LA acts on stage, all these LA acts putting on. So it felt like not only did it just feel like a Kendrick show, it felt like such a LA show. It felt like a LA. Brian said, kicking a dead body.
Kicking a dead body.
Hey, Quincy said, he said, you remember when this gonna age us for my older WWF fans, not WWE, but he said, you remember when Ricky the Dragon Steamboat got knocked out and had that hickey on his head, and Jake the Snake just kept DDTing him while the hickey was already on his head. He did it in the ring, then he slid him out, moved the pad, did it on the concrete, did it on the way out. Like, that's what this feels like. He said, I love that beat, but the beat carried it to the top. I disagree. It's a crazy beat, but I think it's the song that he put on it because it's a DJ Mustard beat, and a DJ Mustard beat can go either way. Even if it's, I heard some DJ Mustard beat that are bangers, but if you don't put the right song on them, it don't matter. Like his shit is tricky like that. Like a DJ Mustard beat, you really need the song on there too. But
and then half of the time,
West Coast beat.
DJ Mustard beats be crazy too, because you'll have to think about it. This nigga done some singing tracks for other people. It's like, damn, he made that. It's like you'll never like think DJ will ever make some shit. Yeah, you'll never think he'll make some shit like that.
Yeah, so I think, like I said, I think it was the perfect, like V Ray said, how it lined up perfectly. Kendrick Lamar on Juneteenth at the Forum, not just in LA, because that's even symbolic at itself. Like
historic, absolutely.
Yeah, doing some shit at the Forum on Juneteenth in LA with all the West Coast.
In the center. You in the center.
And then you get Dr. Dre to come out and give you the biggest, best cosign ever by starting Not Like Us the first time. Like, I was like, I felt like I was getting secondhand embarrassment for Drake because I'm like, Jesus, he got to be feeling like, should I book a show in LA in the next couple years?
No, don't come over here. We don't need you.
David said that was the perfect combo with Top Knot Beach, one of the best lyricists to do it. It was. And you know what I like? I like how he spread out the diss records throughout the concert. So it didn't feel like he was just focused on the diss records like he did. And my brother Demond said, he said, you forget Kendrick really had that many big hits as they was going back to back to back to back. Because I think everything he did tonight in the show was a hit. Every
legendary.
Song did, every single song was a hit. Nothing was like an album cut, album filler. Everything he did was hit, and there was a bunch that he still didn't do. Like, there was a bunch more that he left off that he didn't do. Like,
he could have did a bunch of shit.
Yeah, there's a bunch of records. So it just goes to show, and I like that he did this because I was wondering what would be his next move. Like after winning the battle, how do you take advantage of this heat? You know what I mean? And I feel like he did the best, like his best case scenario of what you can do with this heat, especially specifically for Kendrick. Like, oh, I can go to Inglewood, do Juneteenth, especially since they're not having the Juneteenth festival in Crenshaw. I can go do Juneteenth, so everybody's gonna be here. And then I'm gonna bring all of the West Coast out. I'm gonna bring the legends. I'm gonna bring the new people. I'm gonna bring the up and comers. I'm gonna embrace it. So it kind of makes him look like the new king of the West Coast, the way he did it, because he basically like ushered in like all these new artists. He brought all the old artists, some artists who came out a couple years ago. Like, whew. Yeah, Shannon. She said did a whole skit on financial literacy. He's the GOAT. Hey, and like only Drake could get away with that. You know what I mean? Like only Drake could get. I mean, not Drake. I'm sorry. Only Kendrick could get away with that, and it didn't feel. Nothing felt forced. Nothing about the show.
The whole crowd was rocking with him.
Nothing about the show. The way he did his playlist, the way he did his, like all of that. It was like his set list was really dope. And it like, because it's hard to play a record like that 5 times and it not feel forced, but that shows you how organic it was. And then he brings the Crips and Bloods together at the end, and he tell everybody like that's what this was really about, bringing the West together. He said One West. I'm sure y'all gonna be seeing that hashtag One West. And he was like, and I'm talking about when I was looking up there, I seen cats who are brand new artists from the West Coast who are just getting big and on the rise. And you know, a lot of times artists that's of Kendrick's stature won't put people on for fear of they're gonna take my place or they're gonna take my shine. But he didn't have none of that. It felt like it was no ego in that tonight. And he was just going ham. And his show was kind of dope to me, man. His show was dope. Go ahead, Mars. I know you wait. I know you chomping at the bit. Go ahead, Mars.
Man, I can honestly say that was a perfect concert. As someone that has been a day one from Over Dedication, from the Kendrick Lamar EP, the fact that he started out with Black Hippie, J-Rock got his shine, he brought in Absol, Collard Greens with Schoolboy Q. That was an absolute perfect concert from start to finish. And Dame, just to touch on that, the One West, the little nuances in which he was doing, where it's a constant, subtle flashes of blue light, flashes of red light, equal timing and whatnot, spoke to making sure that everyone got their little say at that concert. It was an absolute perfect concert.
And you know what? I think it was perfect for like so many reasons too, Mars. Like not just musically, but for culturally. And again, like I said, I don't know if this was purposely towards Drake, but it's like he really showed like, yo, I'm for the culture. This is what the culture is about. But even more specifically, this is what West Coast culture is about, and the West Coast is behind me. Because you know, anybody who can bring out Dre, because you know Dre is usually like, I ain't taking sides, I ain't getting in it. But you felt like every single person who's on that concert, like, oh, they took his side. They taking sides with Kendrick. And what I thought was dope, because everybody been rambling about Kendrick ain't cool with his TDE guys no more, and you know you've been hearing those ramblings, and he bought all the TDE guys out.
All them
like
niggas
this,
out.
You know, this is my day one. So to be able to squash that too, like I'm telling you, it's like he punched a lot of.
He just missed one nigga.
He checked out of who?
Reasons. Reasons wasn't up there.
Oh yeah.
So he checked like Reasons wasn't a day one though.
Yeah, true, but I mean he was still part of TDE kind of in a way, you know.
No.
Kevin said concert was good for hip hop. My boy Drake got to cook something up off the back of this, man. I don't know. Hey,
he ain't
Kevin,
gotta cook shit.
I don't know what he can. I don't know what he could cook to come back. I think he gotta stay away from it. Personally, he gotta stay away and just go make a Drake record.
He got to do like a European tour. He got to like step away from. I mean, I'm not even joking. A step away from the U.S. and go do some shit. You know what I'm saying? Asia, Europe for a year or so. Get his bread, but not like try to like get in the mix and like do anything that looks like a clapback at all, and just go get your money somewhere else. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Stay out of the press that looks like it's some back and forth shit. That's his only option. This nigga try to, okay, I'm gonna do a concert in Canada or some shit like that. It's gonna be like, dude, come on, man.
The problem is you're dealing with someone who doesn't understand the culture, someone who's realistically a foreigner.
This motherfucker understands economical circumstances and shit.
But that's the thing. He understands the economics of things. The fact that he just moved to Texas should more or less show that he can't go to Atlanta, can't go to the West, can't go to New York. So he's going to try and tap into that market as far as whatever artist there, just for the sake of trying to keep his quote-unquote clout or whatnot. I don't know what clout it is. But the fact of the matter that this took place, he can't respond with a diss because now if he says something, it's open season for all those other artists.
Yeah. Basically, you're gonna be coming at every single person that was on that stage. What up, cousin? Shout out to Maisha Allen. What up? Brian said Drake can't do nothing but the Super Bowl and do his disses to come back. Like that's like
I don't think he can even do the Super Bowl. To be honest,
he can't do that.
My cousin Ronell joined us. My other cousin Ronell joined us. 8-bit close fist. If y'all know, follow him everywhere. He is. I would say he's the Joe Rogan of gamers. They be going at my cousin head every day because of his takes on games. On notable misses, rappers Ice Cube, Game, and Snoop Dogg from Shannon. So Shannon, I agree with you, but and this is what I feel like. It's because you have Dre, you don't need none of this.
It's like
you know what I'm saying? Like having Dre is like you got all
everything.
And I know Ice Cube rocking with it because Ice Cube recently did an interview where he was talking about how he likes what's going on and he like what they doing.
Yep.
So I don't think it was like a slight, but I do feel like you can, if you got Dre, that covers all the bases of those older guys. You know what I'm saying? So you had Drake in that generation. I mean, you had Dre in that generation. Then you had Problem, who was about 10 years ago. You had Dre, then you had Problem. Ty Dolla $ign, YG. Then you had the newer like the Cuzzos,
Beano and Cuzzos and
G Perico. So I felt like
Perico, all them
niggas. So I feel like he literally was like, I'm giving y'all all of the
all
West,
these niggas,
all the different facets, all the different facets. Right now, let me get some of your thoughts, man.
Game. I want to see Vince Staples. Vince Staples there would have been fire.
Oh, Vince Staples. That was a miss.
The Game is crying in the bathroom right now. He want to be there. He's mad. Game would love to be there. Absolutely. Everybody else is chilling. E40. You know what I'm saying? Like they all said their piece. Dre said his piece. Game. Vince Staples, I wish would have been there. And Game is absolutely pissed that he's not there. He's not happy. He might make a track with Drake after this.
No, but he did it to himself. But the thing about it was he did it to himself once he made that comment.
Exactly.
Like rather than just stay neutral or just
he did it. He dug it on hold.
He decided that he felt that he was like, well, I'm rolling with Drake because da 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 da. He did that to himself. And correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all also called him out on that. Like it would look really hypocritical for that all of a sudden for him popping up there when you were like, yo, I'm siding with Drake.
Well, the Game feel like he's supposed to be on a Super Bowl. So if he felt slighted by that, he really about to feel slighted by this. Brian got a good question. He said, with YG, Mustard, and Drake doing music together, does this end their relationship? I think YG and Mustard for sure picked a side. I think they for sure picked a side in regards to like still doing stuff. And I don't think they've done nothing with Drake in a while, but I think they really picked a side. First of all, not just doing his beat, but I think even didn't YG kind of like lightweight try to make a record, but it just didn't really go nowhere. He tried to make a record saying something about Drake too. So yeah.
He picked the side.
Yeah.
I think if I'm being 100% honest, I think Mustard wanted to remain neutral. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, you know how he did the same thing with the Alchemist beat. They got the beat, but then he was like, "Yo, I'm using it for this," and they was like, "Damn, all right, bet." You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't what it was. But I think Mustard kind of wanted to remain neutral, and then I think Kendrick kind of pulled that like, "Do what you do, bro. But this is some West Coast shit." And Mustard shit, damn, nigga, fuck.
Well, you know what? There might be some truth to that right now because he said he didn't even send him that beat to do that song specifically. He said, I sent him beats. He said, I've been sending Kendrick beats forever, and he ain't never used none of them. He said, so he finally used it, and this is the one that he used it. Like, yeah, you finally get one, and it's a monster. So I think at that point he did, like you said, he probably had no choice but to be like, and think about it. If he wouldn't have showed up to this with DJ Head and all of the West and even YG, if he didn't show up trying to stay neutral, he would have looked crazy at this point.
And
I think he had
the same thing with YG. I think YG kind of would have made neutral because Drake would be giving them hits, but Kendrick was also like, they calling you a Mexican. Like, you kind of got to get
Yeah. I think that's true, man. And it's funny because I think it's really this whole concert. I think it added to the dynamics of what was already there. You know what I mean? Like the concert was basically like they jumped this nigga. That's what it felt like. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the concert felt like it's adding other dynamics because, like I said, you know that if you get on that stage tonight, it looks like, even if you don't, it looks like you're siding with Kendrick. Like you like, we with him, he's with us.
Because he kind of forcing their hand a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? A little bit, he forcing their hand. I think a part of the reason why he did so many of those Not Like Us tracks because he's getting different cuts, he get different shots. He's gonna piece it up together. He's gonna put that in the video. It's gonna be a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because he had the one with the dancers. Then he had the one with just the other artists. Then he had the one with Tommy the Clown and all that.
Yep.
Then he had the one with everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
He definitely cut it up. And people was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hot. Like, fuck it. I got them in there. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Fuck Drake now. Fuck it. You know?
Like, even if you didn't feel that way before.
Yeah, and plus from a business aspect, you know, I'm sure everybody's manager and, you know what I'm saying, their handlers and shit was like, take your ass down to the forum for Juneteenth. You know what I mean? It's a photo op in a sense, as well as everything else. I mean, I get all the cultural shit and all that, but from a business perspective, if you had an invite to the Kendrick Lamar forum show and you don't go, it's like, you a dumb motherfucker from, you know what I mean? So there's this layer.
I wonder if there's anybody on that list who didn't show. I don't think it's any LA niggas who didn't. I think LA is there, but it might be someone who didn't show. Who knows?
Yeah, it might be. That's interesting. You're right.
But I bet you it's for scheduling reasons or some other reason. It wasn't like, nah, I don't want no part of that shit. I bet it was like, I'll be in New York. I'm making a movie in France or some shit. But like somebody that decidedly not to go.
Steve Lacy.
That would be bad business.
Steve Lacy said, fuck it, I'm in here too. I'm from Compton. I forgot he was from Compton.
Yeah. And he went to Washington. You know, shout out to Steve Lacy, a general. But you know what? You know what's even more when you say, cause somebody said, y'all don't ever know what, I seen a meme and said, y'all don't ever know what Kendrick got in his arsenal. He said, this nigga got Bloods, Crips, 2 bisexuals. Blood, Crips, 2 bisexuals, some Mexicans. They say you don't know what this nigga got in the arsenal.
The clown. Tommy the Clown.
Did he, what was on the black shirt? Did he show what was on the black shirt? Because he had that black shirt, like in the very end, he like pulled it out. I thought it was gonna be like a Canadian flag whacked out or some crazy shit.
That was a towel he was holding.
It was a who?
It was a towel.
Oh, it's just a towel. Okay. I thought it was a shirt.
Right now, wanted it to be a flag.
Crazy.
He wiped his ass with it at the end of the show.
But yeah, man, I think today, because like I said, I was wondering like what's gonna be Kendrick's next move to help solidify. You know what I mean? Like, cause yeah, we know he won the actual like the radio and not, but like, what's his move to be like? All right, you in that spot where you could be the top dog. It's kind of like wrestling, right? You know how in wrestling they keep, oh, you won this match, it went back and forth. Like, but what's that, as they call it in wrestling, put you over the top? And I feel like today put him over the top.
I think he got to do more.
I think this one did it.
I agree with right now. I think after this, he actually got to come with another set of hits. He do. Like now he gotta like the next album or whatever he do, like it gotta be I don't think it's hard because he's been doing undeniable stuff, but not like us that took him to a different echelon of like the kind of beats people gonna expect him to be on now too. Because you know he's like he loves real jazzy stuff, he loves super musical stuff, but now it's like, oh, you showed us that you can give us a straight radio hit? Like, oh no, like you're gonna have to hit us with some more of those.
I don't necessarily agree with you on that one, Damon, and I push back on it for a simple fact that look how he started off the concert. He started off the concert with Euphoria. You know, and I think, you know,
well, but you gotta think Euphoria is a huge record though. Like right. Even though it's not like us, but Euphoria in its own right. And that's what I mean. Like when he come with that energy, not even like the sound, but that energy of Euphoria, that energy and Not Like Us, that's what he has to carry over to the next album. That's what I mean. I'm not saying I don't mean it has to sound good, but like he cannot do up To Pimp a Butterfly after this.
No, I think looking at how Kendrick has changed, definitely how he performed on stage, the outfit and everything, he is back to being Kdot, his B-boy stance. The question now is that now that he's back in his B-boy stance, is he going to go that militant street level? I'm trying to educate everyone at the same time, dumb down the music a little bit so that some will get it, but at the same time have those intellectual songs. Because literally when he was during the beef and he was dropping these songs, the double entendre, the triple entendre, people were actually dissecting it, and they enjoyed the fact that they were dissecting it. It's just
but check this out, Mars. But check this out. Not like us, as dumb. That's the most dumbed down you're gonna get from Kendrick. But as this nigga broke down fucking gentrification in Atlanta in that song.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing.
All to bring it back to Drake being a colonizer.
Right.
Like,
wow.
But here's the thing. That song was to appease the people that said you don't make club bangers.
Yeah.
As far as like me as a Kendrick's fan, that's like I like the song, but I'm listening to Euphoria. I'm listening to Meet the Grams. I'm listening to the other stuff. I'm going back to Over Dedication section.
Well, wait. So you made a great point. You said as an old school Kendrick fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Kendrick has gained a whole new sloth of fans from this. And I'm saying he gonna have to feed that. Did you look in that audience today when you was watching that show?
Oh no, I was paying attention to it.
Did you pay attention? Did you pay close attention to the audience?
No, I paid close. But here's the thing:
them wasn't all the old. Wait. I'm just saying them wasn't the same b-boy type niggas that used to be at Kendrick shows that we saw. We saw super pretty girls.
Right.
We saw Hispanics, Latinos. We saw younger crowd. Like my daughter's not even super into hip hop, and she came in there and was like, "Hey, call me when he do the diss records. Whenever he do the diss records, call me." She's 11.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so she just want so she now she is. Yeah. So she now is connecting him to that's the nigga who destroyed Drake. We have all the context before, but her and her 11-year-old friends are like, oh, that's the dude who destroyed Drake. So I'm not saying he has to make records specifically for, but I'm saying that kind of energy that bought what he bought to the Forum today, it's gonna take a specific kind of album after this to keep that, to make him stay the number one guy. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he can't just go do another Kendrick album. He got to do something that's going to be like, oh, now he's number one, because Drake still does have he makes club bangers. He still has the hit maker moniker. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, you're operating under the pretenses that he wants to be the number one guy. His thing is, I just want to make quality music that enlightens and speaks to the culture. Look at Euphoria. When Euphoria came out, as complex as Euphoria was, they were singing that song in the audience.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. Like I think we saying the same thing, but in different way. Like what I'm saying is, I'm not saying I don't think he needs to compromise his sound or nothing. I'm saying he needs to do something to take this energy, not just the Not Like Us energy, the energy from Not Like Us, Euphoria, and the underrated 616, because I think that's a underrated banger that got kind of glossed over in this battle. He got to find a way to take that energy and make that energy feel like the next album. Go ahead right now. I know you about to say something.
First, Brian, he's for sure dropping an album this year. But I kind of agree. I think Kendrick wants Drake to not be number one more than he wants to be number one. I think his goal is definitely to make Drake not number one. He just want to make his music, but he was like, Drake, I'm tired of this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of seeing you up there. And there's a whole nother story that I'll try and circle back to. But I think he definitely just wants Drake to not be number one. And in order to do that, I think he has to keep his foot on his neck specifically more. I think if I'm Drake, I wait for Kendrick to drop, and then I drop, and then I just say, at the end of the day, people still love me more, and just hope I sell more if I'm Drake, right? I just try and stomp on Kendrick's next album. That's the best move Drake got right now. So just be like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna give more plays to you. You got your biggest diss record, dissing me. No matter what, I'm number one. That's his best move. If it sells, he's done. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up for him. But I think Kendrick has to drop a track. I do think he has to dumb it down. I think he has to he can still make dumbed down music fire. I don't think he's above that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he does still hate Drake, and he's still Atlanta Compton nigga, clearly, as we've seen. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I don't think he thinks that music is bad. So I think he's gonna make really good that music and then be dumbed down and then get those big numbers.
Even his dumbed down, you think about Be Humble, that was supposed to be his dumbed down radio single. You know what I'm saying? So it's not it's not that he don't know how to make those. He knows how to.
He just chooses not to.
Yeah, but I think now he's getting in that place, like Ronell said. If I want Drake to not be number one, I have to slay the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if I want Drake not to be number one, I have to take that spot. And he, as smart as he is, creatively, he knows what it's going to take to do that. You know what I mean? Like, he knows what it's going to take to be like, if I'm going to slay the dragon, because the biggest play was, like you said, everybody was like, oh, Drake still got a chance because Kendrick can't make a record that play in the club. That was like that was like the last ditch effort that Drake had left from his fans.
Which was stupid to begin with, but whatever.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody ever based a rap battle off of can No Vaseline be played in a club? It was like new rules happening.
Plus King Kunta, N95, fucking Rich Spirit just came out. All right. The shit gets played. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still bangers that everybody listens to when it come out.
Commercials and everything. Shit is wild, bro.
Hey, but you know what I think, man, as far as this, like his next moves, personally, I think I would just take another direction. Not even like fuck Drake at this point. You already murdered the motherfucker. You threw a party at the cemetery and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's basically, for real, it's like just go left, do your Kendrick shit. It don't have to be dumb. It don't have to be smart. I would not even try to like lay more rope in that same path. You know what I'm saying? You went there, you established it, you won, you got the victory lap, you did the big ass concert, the biggest shit, you know what I'm saying, that happened for this time of the year, and just make another just knocking ass record and shit, and don't reflect or refer to Drake, not you know, like in this fashion and shit. Just make another album, as long as it's an excellent record. Just, you know, that's just another chapter in your legacy. If you focus too much on Drake, that shit's gonna get worn out. Because to me, in my personal opinion, the shit was already fucking like, nigga, like, what else? Please stop. But then the concert, okay, I'll fuck with it. But I'm just saying, like, after that, it's like, now we're gonna build missiles and bomb Canada and shit. Like, make a record, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? At this point, it's like, you won, nigga. We get it. So like I mean, to your point right now, I know you're right. It's true. It's obvious that he don't like Drake, but just to continue to focus on that nigga is like, just like an ex-girlfriend that won't let go of a relationship that's over kind of shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Just make a record. Just do the shit that you famous for. Nigga, you already famous. You know what I'm saying? Your competition with Drake is an afterthought at this point. It's like, oh yeah, he killed that nigga like last year. And it's on some whole other shit. The conversation is over. My opinion, but I'm just saying.
No, I agree. I don't think the next record, I don't think the album should have anything to do with Drake. Like, no diss. I don't think it should be diss records. I don't think it should even be references. I'm just saying the energy that he has now sparked.
Yeah,
I think he needs to harness that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, harness this energy into that next album where people like, because now people gonna say you killing Drake even if you ain't saying shit about Drake. If you just keep coming with crazy hit records, they're gonna be like, oh, you killing this nigga. Like, I ain't even saying nothing about him no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? but it's like, but if he keeps coming with that energy in those kind of records, it's gonna, you know, it's kind of like for
references to him.
I don't know if y'all remember though, but like when Ice Cube did No Vaseline, NWA was at the top of their game at that time. Mm-hmm. And then when Ice Cube came with No Vaseline and Death Certificate, that's when he was like out of here. That's when he turned legendary. And that's, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like, so I'm talking about those kind of moments in hip hop where it's like, what's next? Because then when he did Death Certificate, like you said, V-Ray, he wasn't talking about NWA on that album. It was just he did that shit with one song. He killed 5 niggas with No Vaseline, and then went and did a classic album. Yep, did a classic album immediately after, where everybody was like, "Oh, damn, he the one." And for a long time, Ice Cube was like the Jay-Z of the West Coast. Like, you know, a lot of people forget because of Are We There Yet in the movies and shit. But Cube literally was like, oh, you want to get somebody from the West Coast to battle a nigga from the East? You got to go get Cube. You want the best lyricist? Most East Coast niggas was saying Cube is one of the best lyricists ever. Like, he was one of the only West Coast lyricists that always got that respect. And I feel like Kendrick is kind of same in that same pocket where it's like everybody, you know, he's that guy. Lyrically, he's that guy. Musically, because Cube made hits too. like in the same way. But you know, like I said, he didn't have to mention NW. Like after he killed him and then did Death Certificate, he didn't have to mention him again. Yeah, like Willie said,
Snoop Dogg was even telling everybody that Snoop Dogg is Ice Cube's favorite rapper. Like, come on, man. Like that's crazy. That's just that's wild.
Dane, just to reiterate, I think everything that you, V-Ray, Renell, Rex, you guys are saying, I agree with you 100%. I think with Kendrick, and I'm gonna add a little bit more nuance into it, because he's working with the writers from South Park for that movie to be released next year. I think he's going to be very strategic on when he releases music. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think Drake should have, if he would have kept it PG, and he could have used that, honestly. He could have used the fucking, the fact that he's writing music with South Park, or he's trying to do fashion. I don't know. He could have just took a whole different route with this down beef. But I think Kendrick should mention Drake again, because
he's been mentioning him for the last 10 years, though.
I think you got to do it again, because, again, the goal is not to say, I need to do this so that I can make a name for myself. It's Kendrick. He's good. His goal is not to be number one, I don't think, right? I don't think it's even to be number one. So he's not trying to make his name for himself. He's not trying to be number one, per se, right? He thinks he is, and, like, he's going to make the music. If people say he's number one, it is what it is. But I think his goal, again, was to say, fuck Drake. No more Drake. Drake got to get stepped down. And I think, at first, margins way up. Drake was right. He's ahead of him. Not even close, right? I think with this beef, he made it the margins a lot closer. But even, let's just say Kendrick is over. But at the end of the day, the status quo is Drake is the king. If you want to beat that status quo, like you want to beat that normal shit, you gotta bend it over backwards. I know you heard that saying of, like, if you want to bend the board back to like straight, you can't just bend it straight. You got to bend it all the way back around so it can go back straight. That's what he got to do with Drake. He got to beat his head off. Some people gonna say, like V-Ray saying, it's dead, bro. Leave it alone. But you got to assassinate his character.
But that's the thing, though. You also have to do it in unconventional ways, where, and jumping back, when you look at the last 10 years, the songs in which Kendrick has released, he has been dissing Drake for the last 10 years. The fact of the matter, if this continues, can you imagine what is to come when you're now pairing yourself, your hatred for Drake, with the writers from South Park?
I agree. That was, like, was it the gay fish thing that they did with Kanye? The fish thing? I agree. People underestimate the power of the internet, I think. And I think with this song, not only was it just a banger, but it added memes, and memes are a killer, especially for Drake. Because, again, the Black people and the lyricists and the people that like music, they already kind of know Kendrick won, right? We kind of have a pretty good understanding of that. White people, the young bulls, you know what I'm saying, the kiddies, they not going by lyrics necessarily, right? They going for the memes. They going off of, like, the public opinion. And the public opinion is the memes. It's the 69 guys, the freaky ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's the OVO, right? It's all that shit. It's the people making animations off of the lyrics. So I agree. If you do some South Park shit, further deepen the meme hole that he's in, assassinating him with music, the animations and all that shit, then I do agree with that. At that point, Drake won't be able to recover. He won't.
Demond says South Park already killing Canadians.
Yeah. They hate Canadians.
Yeah. That's just crazy.
I think
it's topical. They're gonna get on that.
Yeah, and I think it's a brilliant era for music. Like I said, if nothing else comes out of it, we're gonna get some great music. We're gonna get some great hip hop history out of it. And it brings me to our next topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about. So I don't know if y'all seen, but there's a Breakfast Club documentary about all the actors that was called the Brat Pack back in the 80s. Incredible documentary. because it talks about how they were all these dope young actors on the rise. They were doing all the John Hughes movies. You know, they did St. Elmo's Fire, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Pretty in Pink, Breakfast Club. So they had all these iconic movies. And an article came out calling them the Brat Pack. And that article essentially ended the Brat Pack because they wanted to distance themselves from it so much that none of them ever really worked with each other ever again after that article came out. But it was something that very interesting happened in that documentary that I want to talk to you guys about. What was her name? It wasn't Molly Ringwald. She played the mom in Back to the Future.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Leah Thompson?
I think so.
Yeah, so she played it, but she was talking about how we consume media so differently today that we don't have the same connection to it, or these kids today don't really get to have the same connection to media the way we did when we were growing up. She was saying, like, you know, like when it came to video games, you got to hold the video games in your hand. You had to go to the store to buy it. She said when it came to the movies, you had to go to the movie theater early, stand in line, and rush in and try to get you a good seat. There was no pre-sale. She said even when you wanted to watch the movie at home, you had to go physically rent a VHS tape, a DVD. And so she said, and you go home and you watch that thing a million times. But because you had to go through those obstacles to get it, when you wanted a CD, you had to get your parents to take you to the warehouse. You had to go to, so she said, because of those obstacles, you kind of cherish and connect it to the art a little differently. The people connect to the art when you can just pick your phone up and get it. All of it. Like you can literally pick your phone up and get the Breakfast Club. You can pick your phone up and get the video games. You can pick your phone up, like something that I paid $66 for, like Tecmo Bowl, the first Tecmo Bowl. I can get every single Nintendo game for like $3 now. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk to y'all about that. And do you feel like there's some truth to that? And on the other side of that, how can we get people to invest more in media the way, and because I often talk about this, it's hard to get the boy band era like it was. I mean, I saw we came close with BTS, you know what I mean? But to get the boy band era, like there's no Tiger Beat, so girls can't cut the pictures out of magazines and put them on their wall. You know what I mean? Like it would literally adorn the girls' whole room would be those teen idols. So now it's going to be their screensaver, but I don't feel that has the same cultural impact as literally cutting out your favorites and decorating your whole wall with it. So I just want to talk to you about like the change in the phenomenon of receiving media. And do you think there's a way to help people kind of connect to it more? Because, you know, we all artists in our own right on here. So just how do you think, and I know this is good for you to be on for this right now, because I see you often talk about how some people connect to certain games because of the way they felt when they played it. You know what I mean? And now if you say something bad about it, they jump on your head, but it's not because you're lying. It's because you're kind of attacking their childhood. You know what I mean? Like, cause even for us, there's movies that we loved and we watch them now from the 80s. You're like, damn, this shit kind of terrible. Like the special effects are horrible. The acting is very bad. You know what I mean? So stuff like that. So I just kind of wanted to get y'all take on that. Whoever wanted to jump in.
I think that there's some truth to what Leah said, in that when you appreciated it more when you had to put more effort forth to get it. Just like your parents tell you, you got to save up your own money to get your first whatever, your car or whatever. You know, if your parents give you a car, you take it and wreck the motherfucker, and there's no consequences to it because you didn't really put blood and sweat into it. But having to make the effort to be parallel to the game or the movie or the song, you know what I mean? I think it was more to be cherished. And you know, with the albums and some movies, if you cared to, you could read the liner notes and know who all was involved with the sessions and who produced what and blah, 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 and all that stuff. But I think now it's just too accessible. It's like knowing too much about your stars. Like, you know, the way the artists and actors and stuff are presented now, you can see everything they fucking doing, like what they putting in their smoothies in the morning, and like, you know what I'm saying, the Britney Spears in her kitchen twirling swords in her panties and shit. Like, that's too much. There's too much information. So now I don't appreciate you as an artist. I'm online talking about how crazy you must be, or your kitchen was dirty, or some shit that you wouldn't have had access to the way that artists, were budgeted to the public before. So I'll say that. And then on what can be done, I think that it's actually moving further away from trying to recapture that moment with the, I think that moment's gone, bro. I think trying to recapture that moment and rekindle that cuddle between the artist and the public and stuff, it's more of a departure from that, because it's even easier. The technology is making it even easier to drill down even deeper into what people are doing personally. It's too easy to, like, you watch 2 minutes of a movie, it don't capture you. You can just delete that motherfucker and go to the next movie and start streaming that and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like a warehouse of shit you can do with no consequences. You know what I mean? So there's no what would I say? No, you don't feel you don't feel committed to any one thing to say, this was my so and so, because there's too many of them. It's like internet porn. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to decide on one. You know what I mean? It's just so many. Like, you don't give a shit.
Like, how I end up on page 12?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Showing 100 tiles per page, and you on page 12. What time is it? Like, you know what I'm saying? 4:30. You know what I mean? So I just think it's too easy to consume. It's too much, and there are so many options that commitment. Like, they say that the kids on Twitch and TikTok and shit like that, they have such a narrow attention span. Like, if you don't get them in the first so and so seconds or the first so and so minute, they're on to the next thing, because they don't have any allegiance to whatever it was you were presenting, no matter how good it is.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, because, and this is fresh off the brain, obviously. I feel like we were able to grow an attachment to an individual thing more, right? So, right, with just about everything, games, albums, movies, a lot of times, like, we used to replay them shits because that's all we had, type shit. That was the newest thing we had. We was looking nothing else to our birthday or Christmas, right? So, like, if we got a new Rugrats DVD, that's the movie of the month. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the one we finna keep playing over and over. We don't have many options, but we've seen everything else a million times before. We played everything else. We listened to all the new albums. We just gotta literally wait for a new album to come out and buy.
Right.
So I think we grow an attachment for an individual thing, clearly way more. But I think kids now can dive into an entire medium more, right? If they like games, the world is their oyster. They can play games in general, right? And there's less barrier of entry, right? They don't have to wait until, most of the time, their birthday to finally get a new game, right? They don't have to wait until they save up $1 million to, go watch another new movie, right? So now I think if they really love movies, right, they could dive in and watch all the old movies, watch the new movies, you know what I'm saying? Watch random stuff and really get it engulfed into it. And then join communities online to, like, talk about it more, and other people who are, like, into it, right? If you like games, you have to get lucky or go to, a laundry room arcade and maybe strike up a conversation, right? So I think that a personal attachment to, like, individual parts of the medium, but I think since there's lower barrier entry, they can just fall in love and go deep in. And, there's some turn side of that too, right? They could probably take advantage for it, not really love it. But the people who, like, really love it, they all in. That could become their whole personality.
No, that's a good point, because literally, I'm telling you, I'm learning so much from my daughter. Like, she was talking yesterday about how, like, there's this whole, like, tribe of kids who, like, read Harry Potter fan fiction, and they have, like, casted the people. Like, she's telling me, like, Timothy Chalamet plays this one, and this one is played, and I'm like, damn, like, this, and like you said, you had to get lucky to find like one or two other nerds at the school with you, like you know what I mean. But now it's like literally we all can find each other and be like not feel bad about how there's this like off kilter left the center thing that we all like. And she's showing me, and I'm like, she's like, oh no, it's like thousands of people. There's a bunch of different books. There's books that are bigger than the source material, and like you said, Ronell, because of them being able to find community and connect to the medium, that is a plus, because they get to find so many things. Because you're right, I didn't think about it in terms of like we legit, like you ain't getting another Nintendo game if it ain't your birthday, it ain't Christmas or your brother's birthday. You're not just gonna be going to get random games,
right?
You know what I mean? Like you have to have a special occasion of some sort.
And you'll be surprised too, like because of access, right? You'll be surprised how many, like, we like to act like a lot of the kids don't know even old music or old games, but like due to just the internet, like they'll find the old stuff as well, right? And they'll like that as well.
Hey, that's real. Hey, that's real talk. So I used to teach. I taught middle school and high school, and it was the damnedest thing to me when I was teaching that when we would get on the bus and I would let them play music, for some reason, a lot of times they ended up playing like our music, and I was like, "What the hell?" Like they'll play maybe one or two of they like new tunes from now, but then like they like playing a bunch of like Jodeci, and I'm like, "What are y'all?"
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Actually, there is a movement of kids that are going back and rediscovering music in the 80s and 90s. It's a real thing going on right now.
Oh no, like
in
when
the
I
2000s too.
Yeah, like when I tell you, they literally have been like, and I don't think, because some people's like, oh, it's just a TikTok thing. They find these songs. I'm like, no, because before there was TikTok, like when I was teaching these kids, they literally would be like playing stuff. I'm like, how do you even know this song? And I'm like, is your mom play it? They're like, no, like they discovered it. I'm like, no, this is just my jam. You know what I mean? So I thought that was interesting. So to Ronell's point too, and it's interesting because like you said, the way we consume media when the CD came out, because I think like maybe average like 2 or 3 new CDs came out on the Tuesday that we all probably would want. Like it was probably 2 or 3 that we all was like, and then there'll be this like this Super Tuesday, and I remember one Super Tuesday where Mary J. Blige, My Life came out, like 8 bangers came out that same day as Mary J. Blige, My Life. So me, 4 of my homies, we all went and was like, you get those 2, you get those 2 CDs, you get those 2, you get those 2, and we're gonna go back to the crib and we're gonna trade off and listen to them. So we at the crib reading the liner notes, you know what I'm saying? Listening to them, and it's like because of that, I remember that day, right? Like I remember the day that we was like trying to find change in the seats of our cars to go try to piece up to get these CDs. So as soon as I hear My Life, any song from that My Life album, I go back to that moment. Like I'm connected to it in that manner. And like Ronell said too, maybe they are connecting in a different way, and they get to connect faster because like my youngest daughter, who's 6, the way she connects to music is very different but super organic. Like she's connecting to song, like her teacher, we had a parent teacher conference, and she was like, I don't know why this girl just bust out singing Mr. Bombastic in class every day.
That's crazy.
I genuinely don't fully know. Like I have some clue to like same thing. What was it? What's that one track? Jenny Wine sample. Do da da do 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 da da do do.
Yeah.
That whole joint, the original one. Randomly, like some kid just put that shit on, and they was doing the whole thing to it. And so I don't know if part of it is like it's little pieces of the culture and old stuff that just make its way back up. I think some of it is maybe a little TikTok here and there. I think some of it is just an older person, like an older YouTube person that they're watching. I think some of it is just related videos. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like a random thing. And I think some of it is also like kids wanting to be different also, right? Like there's kids are like, I don't want to just listen to new shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to listen to something else. Like what are people not listening to? Right? So it's a bunch of that.
I was gonna say the same thing because I remember like, younger years and whatnot, like, that sense of wanting to be different. Went back, started listening to Jimi Hendrix because it was different. It was, it was at ahead of its time. No one was listening to it from my class, but it was also someone which I was able to identify with from a, from skin tone and whatnot, and interest in just, instruments.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think it's, if anything, it's just a recycling of that natural psychology of children wanting to establish their own identity outside of what it is that they're seeing.
yeah. But it's crazy too, because like you said, back to Rynell's point though, the fact that they get to establish it with such a vast array of things now that we didn't have access to. You know what I mean? Like, I remember I was one of the few kids like who everybody was listening to NWA, and it's not as big of a difference, but just to show you how the difference was for us as opposed to kids now, I was one of the few kids on the West Coast who was like, nah, De La Soul. You know what I'm saying? Like when everybody like NWA Too Short, I'm like, nah, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what made me different. They're like, oh, he the little hippie nigga. They call me like they're the little flower child nigga. You know what I'm saying? but now, since there's such a vast array, like you said, because kids can get into the media in different kind of ways. Like my daughter, for Father's Day, she actually made me a playlist. She was like, songs that you showed me and songs that I want to show you. And she had like some cold ass Arctic Monkeys records. I'm like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did you even get into Arctic Monkeys? You know what I mean? And she's playing records from before her time that I didn't introduce to her. That's, you know what I'm saying? So I think that goes to Rynell's point too about how the kids get to consume media now, and they kind of find their own identity within that because they have access to, like you said, they have access to be connected to the whole medium as opposed to being connected to one individual album or one individual thing like we were. So yeah, I think that's a great perspective.
They also be having the like, like the training bars off a little bit when they can browse the web. It could be bad, right? Obviously, but also be good, right? If they like, they'll look up. If they like Billie Eilish, they'll look up Billie Eilish. They'll look up their Wikipedia page. They'll look up their influences and they'll listen to their influences, right? Yeah. Straight up, they will just straight up do that. They immediately will just Google that and like, okay, well, I love her. Clearly, what I'm saying, what else can I listen to? And they'll do that with like all types of stuff. And sometimes, again, YouTube or Spotify or whatever algorithm will do it for them.
Yeah, let me read Stephanie's comment real quick. She said, nowadays it's hard to feign for a teen idol when all the personal sexual businesses out there. Knowing what we all know now, many of these artists and entertainers, I wouldn't cut anything out of magazine and post it on my wall. You know what? I want to go to that point because it's funny that y'all say that, but even if you think about now, some of the biggest stars that we have now still have that mystery. Like if you think about like the biggest, and not just like in movies and acting, singing, some of the biggest stars, they still kind of keep that separation. Like as much as we think we know about Beyonce, she only let us know what the fuck she want us to know.
Yeah, but they have to purposely do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As much as we think we know about Rihanna, we only know whatever Rihanna pop out whenever she feels like it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she feels like I see V60. She so I think there is still something to that. There still is something to that mystery. Like, because Taylor Swift, we know about the shit she write about with her ex-boyfriends and shit and all that, but she again does a good job. She shows us what she wants to show us. You know what I mean? Because we don't have that every day. Like, I don't want to name any artists, but we see some artists just jump on social media and be like, I was just tired at the concert today. I feel like singing on live. Like, yo, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And people like, oh no, they're being vulnerable. I'm like, no, they're becoming too human for you to care. Because like now you're gonna turn them into a meme. They crying,
right? Exactly.
You took a screenshot of them crying, and you memeing their vulnerable moment, and now they're more of a joke than of a artist that you look like, that you want to be starstruck about.
Drop them in auto tune and make a fucking beat out of their misery.
Now I'm thinking about it. Does Beyonce have any non-concert, non-music memes? I don't think she does.
No, like you talking about like shit that be personal about her life,
not
even about the kids. Like
nothing. You Not No Diva is the closest thing we got to.
But that's what I'm saying. So like that's by design. Shit, even Jay-Z. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like even like they literally like, no, y'all we'll give y'all this much and make y'all feel like y'all got access to our entire lives, because when I do my concert video. I'm gonna have my kids. I'm gonna look like a mama. But on my Instagram, you ain't gonna see me on my Instagram looking like I just woke up with a bonnet on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think there is something to kind of keeping that mystery when it comes to being a star. Something to that mystery when it comes to like old school Hollywood star power. I think there is something to that. Like Ryan Gosling, that's like old school Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like there are certain people that you just like, they kind of got that thing. Before we get out of here too, I just want to get y'all ranking real quick because me and all the homies been ranking it the last few days. Give me y'all ranking of the Bad Boy series, 1 through 4. Yeah, damn, that's exactly how I felt when we was trying to rank them.
I'm gonna be honest, them shits is so far back in my head. Ooh, and I didn't see the newest one yet.
Okay.
So that's an L for me. 213.
213. Okay, what about you, Lil Red?
I'll have to say 2. No, I'm gonna have to go 1, 2, and then the last one.
Okay, so 1, 2, 4.
Yeah,
3,
1, 2, and 4, and then 3 ain't really 3. Yeah, 3 I guess, but nah, I'll probably have to say 1, 2, and then the last one.
All right, what about you, Marsh?
1, 4, 2, 3.
1, 4, 2, 3. Okay, what about you, V-Ray?
I'm with Ronell. I got to take an L on that one for the moment, but I have no shortage of opinions, so I'll be back on that one.
All right, so for me, maybe a little controversial, but for me, it's 4, 3, 1, 2. And let me tell you,
2 the worst.
We're gonna have to fight.
So this is the thing. No, actually, it'll be 4, 3, 2, 1 for me. 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't want to use the word worse because that's the conversation we all ended up having, right? They're all good. They're all really good. And like, so before we went to see 4, we watched all of them. Like I watched 1, 2, and 3 again, so I could get it fresh in my mind. Like, because I had 3 fresh in my mind. Like, let's go back to 1 and 2 to when they was developing these characters. You know what I mean? And all the movies hold up. So I don't want people to think when I say 4, 3, 2, 1, 1 is bad or 1 is worse. 1 is just, I don't even know how to say it. It's like that would be the order that I enjoy them because I enjoy them all.
Favorite?
Favorite,
your favorite list. That makes sense.
Yeah, because 1 is hella good, still funny. Like I watched it, I'm like, yo, this still hold up. This is still funny. 2, of course, you know, you got all the classic lines. Martin was ridiculous in that with, you know, take the picture, Captain, take the picture, and you know, all that. Like, so, and then 3,
big fucking eyes and a nice fucking face.
Right. So it's like all the quotables, and then I feel like 3 kicked it up a notch and took it more into like they were better dramatically in 3 than they were in 1 and 2. Probably because they got some grown man on them now, they got some experience. But like I feel like 3, they were dramatically better than they were 1 and 2. Because the jokes in 1 and 2, they wrote themselves. The jokes were great, but I feel like they did a better balance in 3 of balancing the jokes, the drama, and the action. So 4 is my favorite because I feel like 4 took everything you loved about 1, everything you loved about 2, and everything that you loved about 3 and put it in one movie, and it didn't feel like an overkill of nostalgia. Like it didn't feel like Coming to America 2, where they were just like, we just gonna bring everybody back that was in 1 and try to rehash those characters and just give them a piece. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like that. It felt like even the homages in 4 were done tastefully and within the scope of the movie. You know what I mean? Like it felt like it fit. And I think 4 had the best script, the best action, and it brought the characters. It gave the characters a little more depth than they usually had. You know what I mean? Like I feel like this one, like they grew them up a little bit.
I gotta see it ASAP.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you, when Will Smith was like, I know I shouldn't say this, it's bad form for me to say. He said, but I think 4 is the best. So I'm like, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like when he said I was like, so now I go in there with the expectation, like, man, this nigga said 4 is the best one. And then I watched it, I was like, oh damn. Oh, damn. I went in there trying to hate too. Like, this nigga said 4 is the best. Like, that nigga 2 is crazy. Like, we love 2. And then I saw 4. I was like, yeah, this is a damn good movie.
Good movie.
Yeah, it's a damn good. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna do our super duper group. So right now, our super duper group is where we take a topic and we put together a group out of this specific topic. So today's super duper group, 4 people that you would choose any era to make the most West Coast hip hop group of all times. Any 4 artists you like, this is the most West Coast shit you ever gonna hear. So I'm gonna give y'all a minute, and everybody in the audience watching, we want y'all to start typing y'all super duper groups in. Give
producer? Do we count producers?
Hell yeah. Like any 4 that you like, this gonna make my group the most West Coast shit of all times. Take your time. Give me your super duper group. I'll go first while y'all thinking. I'll come with mine. So I gotta have DJ Quick because he's a rapper and a producer. I gotta have DJ Quick, and then you got to have Dre, right? You got to. So I'm gonna say Quick, Dre. These next 2 gonna be hella hard. Kendrick. Now my last one is hard because I'm tossing between Cube and Corrupt, but I probably have to go with Cube.
You're gonna get a rugged record, fucking with Corrupt.
Damn. I don't know how to
that
pick out a
record gonna be nasty
because I know. Yeah, this is tough. It ain't easy.
That ain't easy.
It ain't easy as it sounds.
We a gang, not
with just 4. Not with just 4.
Well, that's why we got to make it 4 so we can make it hard. We can't make it too easy. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make y'all. You gotta make some sacrifices. So like I said, I gotta have Dre locked in. I gotta have Quick locked in because I know Quick gonna give you some bomb ass beats and some bomb verses. Kendrick gonna give me everything I need lyrically. And Dre gonna give you, Dre gonna give you them classics. Like, so I feel like I'm automatically gonna have some classics. But my 4th one, let me see. You know what? I'm gonna go with Corrupt. I'm going Corrupt because Corrupt got to write Dre shit too. And his shit will feel a little more updated than Cube's writing wise. So I'm gonna go with Corrupt. So my super duper group is Corrupt, Kendrick, Dre, and Quick. Damn.
Tough. I'm gonna go next only because I gotta get out of here, and it's really tough. It's really tough, and I'm trying not to pick the people who you would pick, or who you just picked, but you stole Corrupt out of me, and I gotta keep Corrupt. Corrupt is way too West Coast, and I go Corrupt. I'm gonna go with Battle Cat for my producer.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
So we're gonna do Battle Cat, Corrupt. I still think Vince Staples is too West Coast. He's just a West Coast LA nigga. I gotta pick him. And my last one, I want to tie it all back together, going like a Nate Dogg or some shit. It's like Battle Cat, Vince Staples, Corrupt, and Nate Dogg. That's what me. That's
so
what
Nate Dogg was who I was like.
Music. Fire.
That's fire. That's a cold ass group. Stephanie said DJ Quick, E40. Well, Eminem not West Coast. You gotta replace him. Eminem from Detroit, even though he came through the West. You gotta replace him.
Eminem is E40 is a good one too, though.
Yeah.
But he's so Bay Area, I gotta put him with other Bay Area dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna Bay Area up the whole group. You know what I'm saying?
All right, who you got, Lil Red? I know we gotta make it tough on you.
Yeah, because I'm a big West Coast head. So I'm gonna probably have to say I'm gonna go Snoop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go DOC.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
I'm gonna go. Damn. I don't want to take Dre. Let me see who else out there. Okay, I'm about to mess y'all up. I'm gonna take Sugar Free.
Oh damn, that's very West Coast.
And my last, I'm gonna just top it off with Ice Cube and just do that right there.
Damn, I want Sugar Free. You know, hold you, kind of want Sugar Free.
That's very Sugar Free is very West Coast stampy. Shannon Perkins said Kendrick, E40, Pac, and Dr. Dre. That's a good one. And like Ronell said though, having E40 is gonna bay up the shit out of that with E40, Pac, Dre, and Kendrick. All right, give me yours, Rob.
See, I was gonna combine Digital Underground, Black Hippies, Far Side, and Rapping Forte. But if I gotta go with 4, I'm gonna go with Shock G.
You got the backpack West Coast crew. I like it. The backpack West Coast crew, like the old school backpack crew.
Yeah, I would go Shock G, Rapping Forte, Kendrick, and Murph.
Damn, that's I like the Far Side pick. That you can't leave them out. All right, go ahead, V-Tree. Who you got? Like he's still very real there, right? Plays like a football coach.
Shannon Perkins stole my shit. But I'm fucking you up. But I got, and I know y'all on the anti E40 shit, but E40, Dr. Dre, Nipsey Hussle, and Kendrick.
Nipsey's great.
Damn.
I had to drop Pac so I wouldn't be all Shannon Perkins and it up and shit. But
no,
that's Nipsey Hussle is a good.
That's a great one.
That's great.
Put y'all Nipsey for Vince, low key.
Hey, all great groups though. I think all great groups, and I think that just shows how rich the West Coast is in history and what we have been able to make and all the different facets. Because I was like, somebody got to put Nate Dogg in their group because Nate Dogg is the hook king of the West Coast. Like there's a whole era of shit that had Nate Dogg on the front of the East to the West Coast. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So man, that was a great super duper group. Thank everybody for joining. Oh wow, she said AC alone from Freestyle Fellowship. Damn.
I was gonna say that one girl said ding dong, ding 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 dong. I don't know who that is. I know you probably know, but whoever that is, I kind of want her in my group. Ding,
wait, what?
Dong, ding 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 dong. From the hook, I don't know.
From Keep Your Heads Ready. What was her name?
Keep your head,
What was her name?
I mean, keep it. What was
Who
her
was
name?
that?
She just died, didn't she?
Yeah, my brother just passed away not too long ago.
Oh, that was Boss, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Who was it?
Boss.
Oh, that was Boss or something? Oh, okay, well then that wasn't who I was thinking.
Yeah, well, damn. Hey, y'all, that was some good groups. Thank everybody for joining. Some great conversations for the culture. I love the conversation about, how we engage in media and everything we talked about in the concert too, man. So we're going to get more to it. And I want to get Ronell back on because I just got to go through some of his internet beefs. Because listen, that shit is entertaining. Give everybody your handles too, bro. Let them know where they can find you on TikTok because his TikTok is jokes.
Yeah, you like talking nerd shit, especially video games. It's 8-bit closed fist. It's 8-bit in the closed fist. And I'm working on like a show type shit too. So be on the lookout for that on YouTube.
Yeah, man.
Well, I'm gonna tap in. You see the controller right here.
Yeah. So everybody, man, thank everybody for joining us. Shannon, Stephanie, everybody in the audience, Willie. Man, we want to thank y'all for rocking with us. We'll be back next Wednesday. Brian, Gene, David. We appreciate every single person in the comments. Unique Creative Group, Courtney, Maisha, Tiffany Black. Hey, thank everybody who joined, man. We'll see y'all next time here on Wild Thoughts. We out.
transfer to the express line. I gotta get off. Electric slide into the devil doors of life. Things are changing and it ain't the way I like. On the replay, wish I could get a replay. Don't mean to hold ya, but I wanna do over. Gas up the ship, shoot me a text and let me know